So what's a conservation land trust doing working in a place like this? At the Conservation Foundation, we found that uncommon partnerships, such as working with wastewater treatment facilities and operators, is a great way to improve not only the health of our rivers and streams, but also the health of our land.
Our organization was established in 1972 by civic and business leaders in DuPage County. We're talking prominent business people along with county forest preserve staff. They believe that it's important to have all groups at the table for conservation to be sustainable. That's the way we've operated ever since.
Water is an important part of our mission. The ecological health of land and waterways are closely connected. It's kind of hard just to do land stuff and ignore the rivers and streams that run through it. But it's important to improve our rivers and streams in a common sense, cost-effective way.
Now, cleaning up rivers is part of our heritage as well. We've been holding the DuPage River Sweep, which is a county-wide river cleanup day, since 1991. And last year we had more than 700 people out cleaning the river. It's a great way to get people involved.
Over the past several decades, the government has done a pretty good job of stopping water pollution like this in our rivers. The Illinois EPA regulates industrial polluters and wastewater treatment plants by issuing permits. These permits restrict what can and can't be put through those pipes. This is their key way of improving the health of our rivers and streams.
Now, according to the US EPA, the biggest threat to water quality nationwide is now stormwater runoff. Rain comes down, runs off the roads, driveways, roofs, and parking lots, and heads for the nearest stream. Along the way, it carries salt, fertilizers, other nutrients, sediment, paint, oil, you name it, and drops it in the river.
Today, the DuPage River and the Salt Creek, although improved, are still impaired. Our data shows it is largely due to dams, channelization, and stormwater runoff. But the Illinois EPA wanted to use its permit process to require up to $100 million of wastewater facility upgrades with little data or reason to believe it would actually improve the life of the river.
In fact, according to one of the more prominent wastewater treatment plant facility operators, our wastewater plants could be putting out nothing but distilled water, and the DuPage River still wouldn't meet the fishable and swimmable goals of the Clean Water Act.
In 2004, a group of municipalities and treatment plant operators came to us with an idea to form a coalition to study and implement a more science-based, cost-effective way to improve the quality of life in the DuPage River and Salt Creek. They came to us because of our knowledge of stormwater BMPs, our facilitation skills, and credibility.
And so the DuPage River Salt Creek Work Group was formed, a broad coalition of treatment plant operators, municipalities, the Forest Preserve, park districts, environmental groups, and county staff. This group had the motivation to improve the river and the financial commitment to actually get something done.
When you think about measuring the health of streams and rivers, there are three key factors to consider: physical, chemical, and biological. The Clean Water Act was passed in 1972 and focuses on the biology in the streams, the fish, mussels, and the bugs. This biological-based approach has been embraced by the work group.
To gauge the health of the DuPage River and Salt Creek, the work group has been collecting data and using it to support an adaptive management approach for improving life in the river. The Illinois EPA has given work group members the space to try this approach and dollars to get extensive monitoring efforts off the ground.
Though the work group is a separate not-for-profit organization, the Conservation Foundation is still very involved. We have a seat on the work group's board of directors and 2 employees dedicated to supporting their efforts. The work group pays the Conservation Foundation a fee to pay for this staff.
Major accomplishments of the work group so far. First, these are the most intensely studied rivers in Illinois. There are 135 sites where they do their physical, chemical, and biological sampling. The work group also has 8 probes in the river 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, recording a host of chemical and physical water quality data, such as dissolved oxygen, temperature, chlorides, etc.
Sophisticated analysis of this massive amount of data has resulted in a prioritized segment-by-segment list of stressors and improvement goals. A number of options are looked at to address the goals, and economical, effective strategies form the basis of improvement projects. This is a data-driven, common-sense approach.
So far, 3 dams have been removed from the DuPage River. This slide shows the before of the Churchill Woods area in Glen Ellen. The dam prevented fish from moving upstream, and it also slowed the water and the impoundment behind it, raising the temperature and lowering the amount of dissolved oxygen. Not many fish can live there.
The dam has now been taken out, and here is a drawing of the habitat restoration area. A full half-mile stretch of land behind the dam will be in much better shape than it was before. The early data shows that 6 new species of fish are located here so far, and it's only been a few months since the dam has been taken out.
What's better than a half-mile of stream bank being restored? How about 2 miles? The work group partners are going to move a golf course out of the floodplain and restore that whole corridor. This will reduce the flooding that has occurred in adjacent neighborhoods and also vastly reduce the amount of fertilizers and pesticides entering the water.
The work group is on the verge of receiving $2.5 million in state funding, which will be matched by their own stakeholder contributions and married with grants, federal grants, to enable $12.5 million in projects to improve the river. Much of that work will involve restoring the river banks, the riparian corridors, and other habitat improvement projects.
In this case, regulatory requirements opened up opportunities for creative thinking and uncommon partnerships. It is allowing for a science-based, common-sense approach, which will result in the improved health of land, rivers, and streams.